This is Daphne, and in this video I'm going to talk about how I set up the weekly layout in the Hobonichi Cousin. In my life there's a lot of other people and their names and details about their life turn up in my planner, so I can't really use a layout that I'm going to put my real life in. But I'm going to do, I guess, what you would call a reenactment. So it is essentially going to be the same, but not with real people's names and maybe times and dates not exactly as they would be, but it will give you a clear idea of how I use this layout. It kind of reminds me of that song by Tenacious D, the band with Jack Black in it, and they have a song that has the lyric, "This is not the greatest song in the world, it's just a tribute." So this is a tribute to how I do my weekly layouts in the Hobonichi Cousin. This week I have chosen this sticker book by the Happy Planner. It's called the Stargazer. It's a bit old, it's from a few years ago, but I still like it. And I usually pick a sticker and then use the colours that are in that sticker to build out the rest of the spread. So I think this one will work. And if you carefully put it here, it does fit in this very left-hand column. The Happy Planner stickers though are too wide for the normal columns because they're about, I think they're 1.5 inches. They're made for the Happy Planner that has 1.5 inch size columns. If you carefully put it here, I think it squeezes in. I'm not very good at getting them straight, so if that bothers you, look away. There we go. And I also have some purple pens because we're just going to keep it simple. And there's a bit of purple in this sticker. The first thing I do is I will write any work shifts I have, and that changes all the time when I work, so I'll just put one shift in. Let's make it on Tuesday, and it will go from 8 till 4. And I like to use this type of pen with a brush tip, and I write along this way so that it essentially blocks out that time. There we go. And I like to use a relatively pale colour because then I can write on top if plans change or I need to know what someone else is doing, even though I'm not necessarily going to be there. So if the kids have something on, or my husband, things like that. The next thing I like to do is divide up the timeline. So I don't tend to use the timeline precisely. I sort of divide it into different parts of the day, and during those parts of the day I will write the tasks that I need to get done. And I divide it up using just a pen and lines. Put a line after school drop off, because when there are no kids at home, that's when it's good to do certain tasks and get on with work, really. When I have to stop, well, I don't stop working, but this is about pickup time, and so after I have kids in the house, different kind of work. There we go. And sometimes I also like to divide up the rest of the day so that if there's something that I want to get done after dinner that is related to my goals, then I will divide the evening up. So after I pick up the kids, it's sort of all about family for a few hours, and then sometimes I have time in the evening to work again. So let's call that 8 o'clock. If only it were so easy to actually predict when there would be time, but I have hope. When you have little children, life can be unpredictable. And even just, I guess, if you have anyone in your life, you can't always predict what they're going to do and how the day is going to turn out. To encourage myself not to be up too late, I also like to draw a line at 11 o'clock, but like I said, I don't precisely follow the timeline. It's more of a guide to help me make decisions about what to do or what's possible. And in this last section, I try and use that as a review section for how the day has gone. I don't always get around to it that evening, so I might do it the next morning or even a couple of days later. And for the review, I like to put in a star rating. And that's when I get to use this fun stamp. Now let's check if I have, yes, it's on the star setting. And I just put some stars in here. This stamp is from Midori, and that's a bit wonky. Stamping is not a skill neat stamping is not a skill I have. So just like the sticker, you're just going to have to bear with it. And the ink in this stamp is not water-based, so you can colour in once the ink is dry. So yeah, I just colour in with a Tombow or even one of these Stabilo fine liner pens. I also like to use the stencil to put some check boxes up here, and they act as my must-do items or top priority. And hopefully most of these hours I'm asleep, but life can be tricky. If I start work this early, I know it's going to be a busy day because I'll be out of the house all these hours and then pick up kids, cook dinner, etc., etc. So I tend to leave off the top 3 for that type of day. Sometimes I will plan to do some writing on the weekend, and then maybe I would fill out this layout all the way through. But for now, I'm just going to leave the weekend. Something else that I usually have during the week are Swedish classes. So I'll put some Swedish classes in just so I remember that that's what I've got going on, and don't try and get something else done then. So one on Monday, this time, and again on Wednesday. I like to use this space underneath the sticker for habit tracking, and to draw up a habit tracker I just use a Zig Clean Color dot pen, so 1 dot per day, and these trackers just serve as a reminder to me of what my intentions are on a daily basis, rather than being something that I'm using to collect data. I also like to write the days of the week at the top because I find it easier that way. And when I've drawn up the general layout that I'm going to use, I also like to add a little bit of other decoration. I find it cheers me up during the everyday. So let's have a look for some things in here. Oh, they're exciting. Let's shiny stars. This one's a nice sentiment. Be fearless. Sometimes it feels like that's what it takes to get through the day. Or maybe just some of these stars would be nice. Maybe a couple of other small things. This seems appropriate for hump day. Another little one there. I don't put too many stickers on because I do like to write a lot as I go through the week. I don't tend to write all my tasks out across the whole week. When I set this up on the weekend, I'll just probably do Monday, maybe Tuesday, and write in anything major that's happening. I think that'll do. You may notice that the lighting's changed. I had some technical difficulties with the camera, but I'll just continue from where I think I left off. And I was just talking about how I use this layout once I've drawn it up. Up here I filled out my priorities for Monday, and in here I would write the things that I need to get done when I don't have the kids around, which would probably be the ones that are up here anyway. But if I have some other things to do, like call to make a doctor's appointment, I would put that here because that's easier to do without children asking for your attention. Here I would often write cook dinner, which seems obvious, but I share the cooking dinner with other people in the household, and it changes which days I need to cook dinner. So I like to put a reminder for myself in there. And I think that really explains everything about how I use this. It's a very simple layout with simple features, but I find it very functional with a little bit of decoration that sort of cheers me on through the week. And I don't really know why I didn't use it like this before. As you can see, it mimics the layout of a lot of different planners like the Jibun Techo and things like that. So yeah, I'm not sure why I didn't use it like this before, but now that I do, I love it. How do you use the weekly layout in the Hobonichi Cousin? I've seen a lot of people use it for things like memory keeping or even just lists, sort of bullet journal style. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of this video. And I hope that you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon.